I am addicted to shopping. I buy whatever I see. I don't even care what I will use it for. If my wardrobe could be in business, I think it would be enough to create a fashion shop. But I was not free to do that or to earn money for my husband. My husband is an entrepreneur in a small business. I really don't understand how he made so much money to support me. And I don't want to answer that question. As long as I shop often, that's more than enough for me to learn more about other things. But now, things are different. It is even more complicated than I thought. A lot. It would be horrible for me to give up shopping because my husband cheated on me. I'm AC. My husband is Dylan. Exactly as you wonder. He cheated on me. Before I knew all the facts, we had days of intense argument. He never let me do anything. Even when he was the one who made the money, when he came home, he was still responsible for cleaning up the battlefield I caused at parties. I used to hang out and didn't care much for my husband. However, we have a rule for each other. That's where I go as long as I have to be back before 11 in the night. So, as him, he promised to come home to eat with me every day. That rule is very simple, but it helps us connect a lot, and neither of us have broken the law yet. We love each other, trust each other, but things began to change when he took the initiative to abandon the rules of both. He came home from work later and started nagging on expensive things that I bought. Once, I went back home and found that my closet was half gone. Oh my God! I got mad and asked what he did with it. He said that he gave it to others because I didn't use it. I hate people wearing my clothes. Even if I didn't use it, I had no intention of throwing it away. Just like I love collecting to satisfy myself. We argued with each other all night, and I kicked him out of the room before I left. It's hateful that Dylan voluntarily left home at midnight before I could forgive him. And time after that made me extremely nervous when he disappeared for a week. He didn't contact me after that night. I went to your company and no one answered me. Were you there? I looked for Jack, my husband's best friend, for information. But Jack also proved innocent and advised me to be obedient at home rather than looking for my husband. What? He was Dylan's best friend. His friend was missing, but showed no signs of worry. That made me think that Dylan must have a problem with Jack. I didn't want to bother the police before I was sure he was really missing. The most important and weird problem is that my bank account has been frozen. What is he up to? I cannot go shopping without money. I also have plans to include a group of friends traveling abroad, and I don't want to lose face when they know I don't have money. While I was struggling to know what to do, a friend I knew sent me a text message with pictures. Is this your husband? It was Dylan hugging a woman from the toilet of a high-class restaurant. I quickly found the restaurant address and immediately drove over. One thing I didn't expect, I saw him carrying and serving the guests in the restaurant. My heart suddenly tightened. He looked very hurried and tired. That's something that I never thought of. Why did he choose to be a waiter while his job is still good? A restaurant employee came to ask me what I used. I quickly took my phone and asked the girl and my husband in the picture. According to that guy, he was just taking the guests out after they fainted in the toilet. I think I shouldn't face him right now. I know how high his self-esteem is. Later that day, I found Jack and asked him everything. Jack didn't hide me either. He said that Dylan's company was on the verge of bankruptcy. I finally understand why my husband lied to me. He just wanted to save so I could live the life I wanted. He accepted a job as a waiter, saving money to revive the company. Thinking back on the expensive items I bought filled the room. While he was trying, I was too heartless. I feel so sorry and love him. My friends didn't know why, but they knew about Dylan was going bankrupt and was working as a restaurant waiter. They mocked me and quit playing with me. They said, "This is probably a fake. trying to pretend to be rich while your husband is a waiter. Thanks to that, I also know their true faces. I completely cut off contact with them and gave up on playing. After 2 weeks, Dylan returned home. He was still happy and loved me. That made me want to do something to help him. I didn't tell him about the fact that I knew the company was in trouble. I actively seek a job that suits me. Fortunately, I was recruited by a fashion company. I started to only use what is necessary and is affordable. But it was bad that we had another conflict. Dylan is not used to me leaving late at night. He felt that I was hiding something from him. He always wanted us to have a date, but I was actually too busy. I refused many appointments and meals with him. As a result, he was cold to me. One evening, when I was on my way to the last party with the company, I seemed to feel like someone is watching me, a figure from afar. As I walked quickly, the footsteps behind me also gradually accelerated. Too panicked, I called my assistant to pick me up to avoid a dangerous situation. But it was unexpected. Before the situation left me into a dead end. Everything got serious when someone took a picture of me and a man into the bar. Oh no, it was my assistant. I went with the delegation to party with the company. I really don't know how to explain it to him. Dylan was furious. He criticized and kicked me out of the house, an action I never thought of. He rudely chased me away without even listening to me. I was very disappointed in him. That night, I drove it myself in the rain. My brother's phone did not pick up the phone. I kept running forward. As a result, my steering wheel has no control over the slippery road surface. I had an accident. The injury by that accident was a truly unforgettable memory. I was in a coma for half a month, seriously injured and in serious danger. Fortunately, I was still alive. After waking up and hearing everyone talk about Dylan, I was so happy. That very night, Dylan rode behind him to make sure I was driving safely because he saw me running too fast. He called many times to stop me. After I was crashed, he was the first person who saved me and promptly took me to the hospital. But my secret can't be kept any longer. My assistant came to visit me and explained everything to Dylan. The day of my accident was the time I terminated my contract. The amount of money I cooperated with the fashion company was really large. He was extremely surprised and hugged me in tears. During my recovery, the assistant conveyed my wish to him. I decided that after I got my salary, I would transfer it all to him to start his business again. That is considered my compensation to him. He was succeeded in reviving the company. As for me, I have overcome the danger between life and death. When I recovered, we spent more time talking to each other. I gradually became famous and popular with the face of new promising models. I seemed to have abandoned the habit of shopping addiction. Instead, I became a workaholic. I have more time to work than Dylan. I was also invited to act in a small role in a movie. My husband was jealous when he discovered I had an intimate kiss scene with another man. It took me a lot of time to convince him of pursuing my own passion. Through many difficulties and quarrels, we have actually trusted each other. Our previous rules were still retained. We will spend time together having dinner. Don't come back too late to have great romantic nights. Me and him are further and further in our career, and I believe that if both of us join forces, whatever difficulties will be overcome. How about you? How do you feel about my story? Let me know in the comments.